Good morning. My name is Tom. Welcome to the state of Maine. As you guessed it, it's raining again. I just did a video on ammo storage. What you should be doing with your ammo storage if you stockpile a bunch. Which this is a self-reliant station channel. That's all we talk about. Self-reliant. When all I do is hunt, fish, put food on the table, and self-protection. So that's what this reloading room is all about. What I want to talk about today is this Lee turret press. I got into it a little bit in the last video. If you're new to getting into reloading, do not be sticker shocked and head for the high-priced items that you see on YouTube, because you don't need them. Get into this. Start shopping for some of this older stuff that you can buy for a really good price. Nothing wrong with it. This stuff is made to last. This right here beside me, I guess you can see it in that video. I'm running two cameras here. This right here is a gas check and resizer. It greases, puts the gas check on when you have your own lead bullets. That thing was probably brand new back in 1950. So here we are, 50, 60, 70, 74 years later, and it's still pumping out ammunition. Picked it up on eBay for $40. It's part of my reloading room, and I would not be without it. And it's the same thing when it comes to these turret presses. Now they have, these are 3, that's why I'm set up as 3. So you can put 3 dies in, all of your dies. This one here I had given to me by my father. This one here I purchased off eBay. Why do I have 2 of them? I have 2 of them because I like to set up, if I'm working on right now is 9mm bullets, and I'm also working on 44 Magnums. Or if I'm working on 40, like a week ago, I was working on nothing but 44 Magnum. So the gas check machine is set up for resizing 44 Magnum. The press here was set up for doing everything to a lead bullet that I pour myself, a 250 grain lead bullet. This press was set up for the 44 Magnum in factory bullets. So I had my lead one, because you got to punch out a little bit of copper jacketed bullets the same time you punch out those. It's in another video, so I won't get into it here. And the same thing down here, you can see this is another press. This is a bullet puller that's set up for 44 Magnum. So I set up, my powder measurer was set up down there as a powder measurer. There is one here, but my powder measurers were all set up, and every piece of equipment on this table was set up for 44 Magnum. So I can just go down the line and build a bullet. For pennies on the dollar, if you start looking at the automated ones, which those do the same thing, the only difference is on automated is every time you pull the handle, out comes a bullet. Out comes a bullet. Out comes a bullet. But there's a lot of setup that goes into that. And that's why I say for the new guy getting into reloading, I believe that system is way too complicated for someone new getting into reloading. You have to pay attention to a lot of stuff on that machine to make sure when you punch out a bullet on the back side, it's coming out like it's supposed to. But you still have to deal with the bullet. You still have to deal with the primer. So on those machines, they have a primer tube. So you put 100 primers in that tube, and then you can push out 100 bullets. Now my education on those machines is limited, so it could take 1,000 primers. I don't know, but each one of those primers need to be put into that primer tube regardless. The same thing with the bullet feed. Your bullets need to go into the bullet feed, so you got to deal with that bullet anyways. So with these, this is a single stage, one time through. So what I do, I go through the first stage and I push out all of the primers. I clean my cases with the primers in. Now, a lot of people are going to say, oh my goodness, you don't take, no, I don't. The reason I don't, number one, is, and we're gonna go all over the place here, is I don't like tumble. I don't like wet tumbling. I think it is terrible for the case, and I'm gonna leave it at that for this video. I still dry tumble, and when you dry tumble, if you push out the primer, sometimes you can get a piece of corncob inside of that primer hole. So I leave I clean my cases, and then my very first step is to come over here to this Lee press, which that's what I like about these. Now I'm setting up, this press right now is set up for 9mm, 147 grain powder coated bullet. I don't know if I can set that where you can see it. That's 147 grain powder coated bullet, and that's what these are set up for right now. Now I'm not gonna, what's nice about these is once you get your dies all set, you don't have to touch them anymore. You don't have to adjust anything anymore. This set of dies is now set up for that bullet. You can see you got a little rod here that sticks out. That's for pushing out the primer, and it resizes the case at the same time. So you set this thing in, and all you do is set it into place where it's going to go. Put your case in there. You push it up, out comes the primer. All right, get yourself a sip of coffee. We're on take 2 because rule number 1 in building videos: make sure to press the record button. Now, I'm not exactly sure. That was 15 minutes ago. So I'm not exactly sure where we left off. But what I'm talking about here today is this Lee turret press. I wish I knew where we left off. So anyways, this is the Lee turret press. Man, oh man, I gotta at least see where we're at. Well, that takes care of the basics on this Lee turret press. So what I'm going to move on to next, and for the next video of this little series, is going to be how to use it. So grab yourself a cup of coffee on your way out, and I will see you next week. And we'll be using the 3 turret press Lee. So have a great week.